Let's talk about 3 players to sell high. Number 1, I want to talk about D'Angelo Russell. Russell has been sizzling over the last 2 weeks, putting up top 15 numbers. During that span, he's averaged a ridiculous 4.1 3-pointers per game, 26 points per night, 7 assists, and has been good for 1 block and 1 steal, all while shooting at 53%. This has to be one of the best stretches of his career. Having said that, I think he's going to come back down to earth pretty soon. For his career, he averages nearly 10 fewer points per game, nearly 1.5 3-pointers less per game, and 1/3 of the amount of blocks. Not to mention, his career average from the field is 43%, so he's definitely going to see some regression there. I would move him now while he is starting, because we've seen how quickly he falls out of favor once he stops producing. The Lakers are sitting in the 9th spot right now, and if Jeanie Buss and Rob Pelinka don't feel like the roster is competitive, I don't think they'll hesitate to tear it down. They did it last season. They basically rebuilt the team midway through the year, and they actually made a pretty deep push. To take it a step further, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Russell was actually part of a trade package. Ultimately, I feel like this is his ceiling, and I would try to move him now before his value decreases. Next up, Bradley Beal. No need to sugarcoat this one, but Bradley Beal is an aging player with an extensive injury history, and this year he's already missed 24 of 44 games with ankle and back injuries. The reality is he's come nowhere close to playing a full season over the last 5 years, and now he's no longer the unquestioned alpha like he was in Washington. His role is pretty volatile, and in my opinion, it seems like the Suns are pretty much managing him to save him for the playoffs. And if they keep winning, there's no reason to push him. They're sitting in the 6th spot right now, and I think they're very comfortable with that. Grayson Allen has proven to be really capable this year, and if they can win while saving one of their best players, why wouldn't they? Health aside, he's also seen a pretty noticeable dip in production. He's averaging the fewest points that he has in the last 8 years. He's also averaging the 3rd fewest minutes of his career, and he's averaging the fewest 3-pointers and steals per game. At this point, I would try to leverage his name and move him while he's still valuable and is healthy more than anything else. If you can get a player inside of the top 75, I would do it. The last person I want to talk about is DeAndre Ayton. Ayton returned to the starting lineup last week after missing 12 games with right knee tendonitis. My concerns for Ayton are health, workload, and volatile play. He's obviously been a walking double-double throughout his career, but his work ethic and motivation have been questioned at times. And I think with the Blazers having really nothing to play for at this point, they're second to last in the West at 12-29, it wouldn't be shocking to see them take things easy on Ayton, and he could be a prime shutdown candidate. This has been a tough year for the Blazers. They've had to deal with a ton of injuries. Scoot Henderson, Anthony Simons, Shaedon Sharpe, and Ayton all missed time. And I think they're still trying to figure out their identity in the post-Damian Lillard era. I think they have the pieces to be competitive in a couple of years, but at this point, it really doesn't make sense to push players like Ayton. And even if Ayton does end up playing, he's not going to really produce all that much. He's averaging a career low in points with around 12.5, and he does not provide the type of defensive stats we'd expect for a number 1 overall pick. He's just never really lived up to the billing. I would try to move him now while he's healthy. Tendonitis can be tricky. It could flare up again. He could be shut down pretty quickly. So I would move him now while he's getting close to 30 minutes a night if you can. Those are 3 players to consider selling high. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and let me know your thoughts on who you think we should sell high in the comments below.